It's Gordo here from Gordo's Games, and we're back for some more content. So today we're going to be doing a deck profile, a deck profile for a Magic Gathering Commander deck that I play. I have been enjoying quite a lot, and I want to share it all with you. So if you want to just play Magic yourself, feel free to hop in the Discord. The link will be down in the description below. If you do have decks that you would like to share with others, by all means, hit me up in the comments. I'm more than happy to do deck profiles on the base of it. All you need to do is give me some clip notes, the deck itself, and we'll go over it. And generally, if you enjoy the content, please just let me know down below. And if you do want to catch us in the stream, I do stream quite regularly over on Twitch. The link will be down in the description below as well. But first and foremost, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications so you know when this content goes live for you. And all in all, let's get into the profile. Now this is going to be a new way that we're doing it. It's different to the last one. These are all trial basis. It is down to you, the best ways that I do this, so that I can try and improve going forward and the content becomes more clean for you all. So let's go. And here we are. So the profile that we're going to be doing today is going to be Daryl, Hunter of Walkers. Daryl, Hunter of Walkers is a Gruul commander I have really enjoyed playing. It does play heavily into a board control strategy more than anything. Generally, to go over his details here. At the beginning of your upkeep, target opponent creates 3 Walker tokens. You can tap Daryl, deals 2 damage to a target creature. Whenever a zombie opponent control dies, draw a card. So it's going to allow us to draw a lot of cards just by the principle of killing zombies on board. The irony is, if you're in games where your opponent's running zombies, you get draws off of their zombies dying as well. So in theme with Walking Dead, yes, Daryl is going to be just killing zombies and getting value for that. There are ways to make that deal 2 damage to be a lot more lethal than it just says on there. But you're going to be giving people walkers. So it almost sounds counterproductive, but it will work. So go into the deck breakdown itself. So we were to break down the deck then into these areas here. So rampant lands is 46 in total. Card advantage 13. Board wipe 10. Spot removal 10. And then 1 win con. Now, keeping in mind here, this is going to just be the overview of the land and ramp to begin with. I'll go through each part as we progress through it, and I'll cover off a few of the ones that may seem a bit obscure. So, Cinderglade, Stomping Ground, Evolving Wilds, Terramorphic Expanse, Exotic Orchid, Path of Ancestry, Spire Garden, Yavimaya Cradle of Growth, 12 Forest, and 11 Mountains, Cultivate, Elvish Spirit Guide, Exploration, Farseek, Felwar Stone, Rule Signet, Metamorphosis, Raging Raptors, Simian Spirit Guide, Soul Ring, Thought Vessel, Tinderwall, Utopia Sprawl, Mindstone, Carpet of Flowers. Let's go back there. So just to cover a few things there, sorry I said this is all going to be completely new, so I'm going to try and make this as thingy as possible for you all, but I'm going to keep all the content original. It is all done by me. So we have a good variety of land and ramp there. So the lands themselves, I'm going to be completely honest, are probably not the most optimal. Yes, you would just have a command tower in here and things like that. I do run a fair few basics. I run based on what I have available at the time and for the decks I'm playing, because I'm relatively new to Magic, so my card pool isn't the most extensive at this point. Hence the reason you'll see a lot more basics in my deck than probably others, and I do play to a point of staying out of the range of CDH. We do run some of the basic kind of ramp cards like Cultivate, Farseek, Exploration, just to try and get more land drops down as quick as possible. The reason being, with Daryl, you want him out as soon as possible. If you can get him out turn 2, fantastic. Turn 3 is fine. A couple of ways we can do that is, realistically, if you see with the cost of Daryl, if you're able just to see 2 lands and Tinderwall, then you can get Daryl out. So turn 1 you play land Tinderwall, turn 2 play on a second land, tap them all, sack off the Tinderwall, and you can get Daryl on the board. And the reason we want to get him out as soon as possible is that we can start giving out zombies to people, or we can start getting the value out of those draws. That doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to have to kill them all, but we will look to control some by using our tap effect or blocking some of them. but people are going to use those to kind of help block the things here come towards their board state. So we're naturally going to get draws off of that. And also you can use it as a political thing early on, because you offer some people a board state. So if you are playing against decks that don't have a mass amount of creatures, then it's almost like you're doing them a favour. These are helpful things to have in there. Some of the other things we do run in here to try and help us get that to turn 2, turn 3 kind of commander out. Elvish Spirit Guide, Simian Spirit Guide, great card, just to exile, and you'll get Elvish will give you 1 green floater mana, and Simian will give you 1 red floater mana. You can use those to try and help ramp it out by just ditching the card into exile. We do also have things like Carpet Flowers in here, so if you are playing against a blue heavy board state, you can look to try and maximise some mana out of that, depending on how many islands they've got. It doesn't always come up, I'll be honest, but it depends on your pool of players realistically. Metamorphosis does help sometimes when we need to colour fix, because you can play it with one colourless or 1 red or green mana. So if you have only seen 1 colour of mana so far, you can use that to try and help filter the other one to help get your commander out as well. And then Raging Raptors is one of our creatures there. It's because we are going to be looking to do a lot of board wipes, which I'll go into more detail as we go along. Us dealing damage to Raging Raptors will allow us to draw additional cards. Sorry, not draw additional cards, ramp additional basic lands. Hence the reason for the number of basic lands here. So indirectly, just for Raptors blocking, or me pinging it with a board wipe that hits everything, we will get a land off that. So it helps us get ahead in our board state, so we can start punishing people, and it also filters our deck, so we're not just drawing into lands constantly. Moving to the next part of it, card advantage. For the card advantage side of things, we do have Sylvan Library, Defense of the Heart, Faithless Looting, Gamble, Primal Vigor, Noxious Revival, Overmaster, Reap, and Reclaim. Reckless Handling, Ripjaw Raptor, Eternal Witness, and Pygmy Cabin. So with these in mind here, with the card advantage side of things, they don't all seem like they are directly card advantages, but they do work to that extent to this. So Pygmy Cabin to begin with, when it comes into play, draw a card for each black creature your opponent controls. Now on the basis that we're going to be giving away walkers at our upkeep, they're always going to guaranteed have 3, unless they have a sack outlet. One thing to avoid against that, you'll get draws off it regardless, but try not to give it to the person that just sack these off and get value for it themselves. You want to make sure you're getting the most out of it whilst keeping them on board and controlling when they leave. 9 times out of 10. Ripjaw Raptor, same principle as the other Raptor, but this one just draws a card when it takes damage. Primal Vigor is in here because we are going to be generating 3 walkers to give somebody. If we have this out, we are going to be giving 6 walkers away. Now there is the added risk with this card that we are going to be giving everybody the capacity to get double treasures, double food, everything like that, or double counters. It's a risk we take in the aspects that we can potentially push our boards or our game state along a lot quicker than they can. So yeah, it is a double-edged sword with Primal Vigor, but it has come up quite a few times just by having 6 walkers out there, and we going ahead and board wipe, and you get 6 draws off the back of it, and we can look to draw into our win con. We do run Gamble, Reckless Handling. They are our risky draw to us. You add a card to hand, discard at random. The good thing about this deck is we can draw so many cards that the random part is a lot less likely to hurt us. But if that is the case, we do run things like Noxious Revival, Reclaim, Eternal Witness. All these things are going to allow us to add back key pieces from the grave and just keep recurring things. Reap itself works on the principle that you target an opponent, depending on how many black creatures they control, you can get that many cards back from your grave. So because we give them 3 walkers, somebody is going to be just having 3 minimum. Obviously if you target an opponent that doesn't have a sack outlet and does control black creatures as well, you can look to get even more. So with that, we can technically loot that quite often, just by if we have something like a Reclaim or a Noxious Revival already in there, or an Eternal Witness, we can use the grab at least one of those back, and a few of the other pieces that we needed, so we can get some more card draw like Gamble, Reckless Handling again, Defense of the Heart if you've used it once already, and then we can keep recycling it over and over, so we'll look to get a lot more value in the long run just by how much we cycle through our deck. Moving on to the main part of this deck, the board wipe, the board control. Now, I have listed these as boards wipe. They aren't directly boards wiped like Blasphemous Act. So I'll go through them first of all. So Blasphemous Act, Fiery Cannonade, Flame Sweep, Cloud's Will, Pyroclasm, Ratchet Bomb, Volcanic Torrent, Wind Flare, Volcanic Fallout, Aether Flash. I will get in the habit of not going too far ahead, but you know. So board wipes, or board control, should we say. All these have a very similar theme in place, as you may notice by a couple of them, dealing 2 damage to each creature. They're all very different ones, like each non-pirate creature or each non-artifact creature, but they are all looking to try to do a very similar thing. So Pyroclasm, Fire Cannonade, Flame Sweep, Whip Flare, they do that. Volcanic Torrent does a little bit more, but has a Cascade trigger on it as well. But they're all looking to try and clear our walkers out, and also clears out anything low to the ground. The reason I've included Aether Flash in here as a board wipe or board control is because if you are playing against certain decks which are, let's say, very heavily token generators, which I'm trying to think of one. I think it's one the other day. I can't remember the name of it, but basically their whole thing was to get 0/1s out and then just kind of ramp them up, make them into big bodies and start swinging with them. Because they originally come out as a 0/1, Aether Flash just says no. It also does mean you don't have control over your draws as much anymore. You will just naturally keep drawing from your deck, because as soon as you do your upkeep, give somebody 3, they will die straight away, but you will then draw 3 cards. So it does matter when you throw this down, and it will get you a lot of heat because people do play a lot of things low to the ground at this point. So we are looking just to keep control of the board, slow the pace of everybody down, clear all the small things so they just can't chip away at us. We do have some X-Bills in there, so like Cloud's Will, just to try and do a good amount of damage or take out some artifacts. We have Volcanic Torrent, which will do some damage, but it also has a Cascade trigger on it. Blasphemous Act, just for that big board clear. Say we've lost our commander and we just want to reset things, just go ahead and do that. Ratchet Bomb can be in here, and it can, again, Lord Aether Flash can put a target on you, because if you are seen to be putting too many charges on that, and you're going to look to clear out most things, including artifacts, enchantments, that based on the number you've triggered it to, you will be targeted for that one. But normally what you will do with this one is you will just put it on the field. If there's loads of tokens that or token decks you're playing against, just sacrifice it and it will take out all the tokens, including your walkers as well, which means you'll get draws off it. You can then Nux Revival, bring it back, put it down again, and just keep it there like a loaded gun, basically. Moving on to spot removal. So some of these cards may seem like they shouldn't be in spot removal, but I'll explain as to why. First of all, Basilisk Scholar, Sentinel Tower, Chaos Warp, Cindervines, Ironcrag Pyromancer, Nature's Claim, Shattering Spree, Thornbite Staff, Silverclad Ferocidons, Sting the Glinting Dagger. There we go. So, like I said, these all may seem a little bit out there for spot removal. Sentinel Tower doesn't really seem like spot removal. Chaos World things that will be just generally, yes, they're fine. Silverclad Ferocidons, it's a very unusual way of doing it, but the reason that I put them in this category here is because things like Basilisk Color. So Basilisk Color will give your command, you're going to equip this to your commander 9 times out of 10. It will give your commander lifelink and death touch. That means those 2 damage that you deal to somebody will then just kill anything, regardless of its life stats. Unless it's got indestructible, it will just kill it, and you will get lifelink based on your damage you've got, your power basically. So you become almost an immediate threat, because those Voltron players that are looking just to put things on the board and just to clear things up, you are immediately going to be able to answer that. They're looking to equip a lightning greaves to their thing. Okay, on response to that, tap Daryl. you are going to be constantly in a position where you're going to control whatever's coming down, and it's going to help you politic a lot, but it's also not going to get you the most friends when you're looking to try and rationalize if you fell behind a bit. And that is one thing to keep in mind, is if you do fall behind, and just make sure you've had that card advantage, or you release the ramps a good amount so that you can just play Daryl back out. We do run things like lightning groups in the deck as well, just to try and make him basically reassess the board state and get to a point where you're back on top. To go along with Basilisk Collar, there's two particular artifacts in here which are, I think, must for the deck, personally speaking. So Sting the Glinting Egg I'll go through first of all, because it's part of the newer set, Lord of the Rings. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has haste. So where it's like Lightning Greaves, because it will give us haste as well, gives us +1/+1, so we're essentially at 5/5, which is quite nice for a commander. At the beginning of each combat, untap equipped creature. So what this basically means is we just basically get repeated untaps. Now, every time it cycles, you can go to your turn, you could, if you've got Basilisk Collar, and this is where the threats come into it, you can tap, take out one creature, go to combat, untap, tap it again to kill another creature, proceed to your opponent's turn, they have to go through combat, so you'll untap, ready to get another one, untap in the next combat, and so on and so forth. That's one way of doing it. The other part, the equipped creature has first strike as long as it's blocking or blocked by a Goblin Orc, is nearby irrelevant, but it can come up. Let's say we're playing against some Goblin Tribal. Thornbite Staff. Thornbite Staff is a stupidly strong card. It does change how your commander works, so its equipped creature has A2, tap, this creature deals 1 damage to a target creature or player. And whenever a creature is put into graveyard from play, untap this creature. So that's one way of doing it. Whenever a creature is put into the graveyard from play, untap the creature. Yeah, so that's one way of doing it. So you're basically just going to be repeatedly untapping. Whenever a shaman creature comes into play, you may attack Thornbite Staff to it as relevant. Daryl is an archer. But the whole principle of as soon as something gets removed, you get to untap, makes this the control of just your commander alone just massively impactful. And as I said, doesn't make you the most friends, but you can also use it to politic how you go about things. If someone is considered as the big threat, you can often help some people on the table around you. You know, give people a free turn or so. It's like, okay, I won't target anything in your board. We'll go for this person over here because they are clearly a threat. And all of these allow us to all those different things. And these other pieces that you have put under spot removal. So Nature's Claim, pretty straightforward. Destroys an artifact or enchantment. For a Cinderbine, same thing. Sacrifice, pay 1, sacrifice Cinderbine, destroy target artifact or enchantment. And Cinderbine deals 2 damage to that opponent's controller. It also has the nice effect of if enemy casts a non-creature spell, you'll deal 1 damage to them, so we're just going to chip away a little bit. That's not usually massively important, but you know, it's chip damage nonetheless. Ironcrag Pyromancer is one of our creatures, it's 0/4. Whenever you draw your second card for the turn, you can deal 3 damage to any target. It's just going to allow us to ping things. So if Daryl gets at least 1 with a trigger, you will then just get the chance just to ping something for 3 damage, and it can just go directly to your opponent, or it can be on a planeswalker or just another body. You know, it's got flexibility, and it's a 0/4 body, so it just means it can sit there and just kind of block some of the other things, and it won't get taken out by the board wipes that we can run, because the majority of them are all 2. Shattering Spree. Now, with this, yes, we could run Vandal Blast and that. I personally prefer Shattering Spree because from a political standpoint the card is a lot more applicable, and it doesn't actually cost as much Vandal Blast sometimes because you may not need to do it as much as you think. You might have just 1 or 2, about 3 artifacts, so you might just want to pay for the 3, or you might only get rid of 2. You have the choice because you can pay 1 red and replicate it. You destroy an artifact, you pay another red, you replicate it, destroy another one. So you can do it to the point of if somebody's got out of hand, you don't want to punish the entire board state because let's say you're all trying to help each other because somebody is clearly the arch enemy, you can target that person specifically rather than just say, okay, I'm sorry everybody, you're all going to take some damage here, I'm going to remove everything. Silverclad Ferocidon is another one of our creatures. It's another one of the dinosaurs here. So I was originally going to call this Daryl the Dinos because the dinosaurs actually work very well with Daryl. And the way he plays is by you doing low to the ground board wipes. These take damage directly off the back of it. But what Silverglide does, when it takes damage, your opponent sacrifices a non-land, non-creature, non-land permanent. Let's bring the card up. Whenever Silverglide Frost is dealt damage, each opponent sacrifices a permanent. That's to 1. So that isn't even non-land. That could be an absolute nightmare to deal with, and especially if we can do that repeatedly. And we can get this out pretty easily. One of the ways we do it specifically is Defense of the Heart. Defense of the Heart in this deck is massively a game changer, and it can just win you the game. We do have in there, if you really want to be that person, Kiki and Combat Accelerant, so you can look to push out the game really early. Generally, I don't ever really tend to pull that out unless things have got to the point where somebody's clearly going to win, and you're just going to take it out from underneath their feet, basically. Other card we run in this deck, and it doesn't seem like it would be a thing, is Sentinel Tower. The Sentinel Tower works on the principle of Storm Count. For every instant or sorcery you cast, you deal 1 damage plus 1 for everyone after that. You keep storing things off here. But we do run cheap spells, and we can repeatedly keep casting them. We have things like Reap, so we can just get the spells back. Sometimes you just cast them again. We do run things like Jessica's Will, Desperate Ritual to try and add to our mana pool. We do have Stormkill Artist in the deck, and Fury Storm, so we can look to go infinite on mana as well. So there are ways in which we can get a lot on the storm count side of things, and we can just keep chipping people's life down bit by bit. That's all the Sentinel Tower's there for. It just gives you an alternative way to win, because not everybody wants to go Kiki and Combat Segment for the game. But we do have obviously the big bodies, we can just swing through damage, swing through, and with things like Thornbite Staff and Things Against Dagger, it means Daryl can swing freely and then untap at a later point. But that overall is the deck. The deck list is going to be linked down in the link below. By all means, please check that out. But overall, if you do enjoy the content, if you do prefer this way of doing it, please let me know in the comments. And overall, thank you for the support for all you've given me so far. And with it in mind, join us in the Discord sometime. We do play Commander quite often. I'm often looking for games on a day-to-day basis. So if you feel like slinging some spells, stop by the Discord. I'll catch you next time.